First of all, the film.
Yes, it's it ran in 6 cinemas out of town, and it was held back for 4 weeks in each one, 2 weeks at a time, and it goes international, being we're going to 40 cinemas at Easter, and under Godfather, it's the biggest grossing film in England.
But one wouldn't think so, really, by the critique that the film
well,
got.
I mean, as a rock and roll man from the time I was 9 years old, when they told me that Elvis Presley couldn't sing and he didn't understand the words, I put no faith in that sort of thing.
But I mean, from the cues outside the cinema, one wouldn't expect that it was doing that well. I mean,
that is not true. I mean, a very sweet thing happened, which a man from the Daily Mirror called Don Short, his interest in the film was aroused when his daughter went to Croydon, and she queued up for 5 hours to try and get to see it and ended up not getting in, and consequently said, "Hey man, I was in Barbados at the time, can I fly over and talk to Mark about the film?" It's just that I don't believe in I mean, I know where the kids are at, and we have a union with the kids. The media in between is incidental.
Assuming it has been a great success, then, do you think that this will hold out any more celluloid epics from your good side?
I've already started a second film. I'm doing a silent movie with Ringo at the moment, which is we're just funking about, really. But we will do another film, definitely.
Do you think that in years to come, perhaps celluloid will take over from wax in your life?
Video will. Well, there is a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I think certainly you will buy a record and it'll be an audio, video, visual recording, which is you'll put it on and you'll watch it through your telly. I've got a machine that does that already. You know, in 5 years' time they should have them available for everyone. And they're very exciting to have. I mean, I can watch me on Cilla Black, man.
That's something I want to ask you about, actually, because seeing you on Cilla Black was,
wasn't it sweet?
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't really think of seeing Marc Bolan on Cilla Black. I mean,
it's the very reason I did it.
Does this mean that Marc Bolan is now going to be an all-round entertainer, family man, appearing on the Engelbert Humperdinck show, etc.?
I've spent the last 7 years learning to tap dance. I mean, no, I mean, we did the show purely because it was so unexpected to do it, and I knew Cilla and her husband and from quite a way back, and I took some persuading to do it, but I think she's a good singer, and I think that it might break some sort of barriers for us to do that. I mean, it was a problem. I tell you, straight up, it was a problem. But I thought it was all right, and we came back and watched it, as I say, on a video machine. I mean, and I've played it through a lot of times, and I enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like was that when I was wiggling about so much when I came up, I was out of breath when I started the song. But I mean, I do think it was sweet, you know. I mean, it was out of place, but that was why we did it. Yeah. It was meant to be a surreal experience.
And is this
from all points of view? No,
is this going to set a precedent? Are you going to be?
No, I've turned down more. No, I'm afraid not. Don't want to bring you down. Sure. The soft shoe shuffle, I have to wait.
Let's talk about your new record, 20th Century Boy. What's the story behind it?
Lyrically, the content is erection rock. I mean, it's down to there's a track on the new album Tanks called Shock Rock, and this is really purely an energy record. And if you listen to the words, some of it's quotes from Muhammad Ali. And I took quotes from a lot of people who are, I consider super showmen, and I just put them into the record. And I consider that every young male in the 20th century thinks he's a super stud, and the record's made for him, really. And for every chick who wants a super stud.
You described it as your best ever.
I never did that. You read that I described it as that.
I read it in
well, you don't quote me. Yeah, right.
Is it true that you said that this record is...
No, what I said is I think it's... a funky sound is what I think. It compares to records that I think are really good. No more, no less. I dig it, and I played it a lot of times, and doing it tonight, and it still gets me off.
You're sticking to a very basic formula.
Can you compare Children of the Revolution to 20th Century Boy?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to say that. What I was trying to say is that you are sticking to a basic energy rock formula.
I don't accept that.
There's going to come a time.
I don't accept that you can play Children of the Revolution, which is a very slow song with 44 string players on it, and play me 20th Century Boy, which is basically just a rock and roll band, and compare them as the two.
But as far as the public is concerned, who don't know about music, it's the same repetitive...
Don't underestimate the public. No?
Okay, well look,
do you know more than we do?
Do you think there's going to come a time when Marc Bolan will have to change? That a point in time...
Marc Bolan is changing, it's just that people aren't really listening. The kids are, they know, that's why they're still buying the records. We're 3 years in now, man. 24 million records.
But I mean, you could make a record like Black Sheep, and it would go to #1.
I don't believe that. I also wouldn't record the 12th of Never. But it was very easy to do. There's a great change happening, and if you listen to my last 3 singles, the change is written down there. The change started with My Generation and Jimi Hendrix, and it worked through.
I mean, can you see that this repetitive riff is going to change, that you're going to do something totally different? Something that, I mean, you did the Cilla Black Show, which no one thought you would do. Is there going to come a time on record when Marc is just going to change like that?
I've just done it in a new album. It's just that, you know, when you hear it, you know what I mean. And then you say, man, why are you doing something so different? You watch.
Tell us about the new album.
No, I can't do. You just hear it. I really can't answer questions like that. I mean, it's the singles lay that down. I mean, really, you just got to listen and open your ears.
When can we expect your new album?
The album's out on March the 16th, called Tanks, and it's the best album I ever did.
You've been going for 3 years, and people like Cliff Richard have been going for...
Don't bring him down.
No, I'm not comparing
you can compare me with Cliff, but let's keep it, you know. Like,
right, well, he's been going for absolutely ages. I mean, do you think...
He's got Jesus on his side.
Yeah, well, do you think that in 10 years' time that you will be, like, writing a song for the Eurovision...
Yes, I'll be writing songs, not for the... No, I'm sorry, I wouldn't do that now. I might be writing it for the Martian Moon Queen contest, but not for the Eurovision Song Contest, no.
Roy Wood can do it.
Has Roy Wood done it?
He tried.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Marc, what are your future plans as far as the British public is concerned? When are they going to see the Big Bopper around?
I want to do something in England special. I mean, it's formulating. It's already almost together, but I can't really talk about it. But it's like when I say with an,
you keep giving me sort of beautiful things that I can talk about, and then you say,
I can't, but that's the way, no, I mean, I'm not playing games, that's the way the things are at the moment.
Can you give us a little inkling?
We're going to play somewhere very big for practically nothing for a charity.
Well,
that's as far as I can go down, and I mean, that's the dream. The reality might be different, but the dream is to play somewhere enormous, very cheaply, and have the proceeds go to charity, and have a lot of nice rock people on and doing it, and make it a very important event. That's the only place I can see T-Rex going in the future, apart from playing at Leytonstone Bars.
Well, we should look forward to Leytonstone Bars. Marc, thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure.